When I'm beating a bag, I'm actually very focused on the beating itself. But what it does do is afterwards, you get very relaxed and it opens your mind. You start to see the forest versus the trees. Whatever I do, I want to be the best I can. I want to win, and I want to also bring that same energy to my team.
Alvin Graylin is the CEO of HTC Vive China. He's one of the industry leaders in immersive technology and specifically virtual reality or VR. Alvin oversees a team that will present its newest products at one of the most important trade shows, the World Conference on VR Industry.
So this is the development kit for our 6 Degrees of Freedom version of the Vive Focus. Right? Before, you only had that little single controller that can only move around and point. Now you have these 2 controllers that will give you the same effect as having the professional controllers that we showed earlier. So, to be able to do all of that in a single device, that's the first time anybody in the world is doing this. So he's linked it now, so you can see the big screen and kind of what he's seeing inside. Yeah, before we were never able to do this, where you can go essentially in a free open space, what we call 6 Degrees of Freedom. Now for something like this where he's using it for doing art and design, it's actually okay. But I think once we get into some of the high-end gaming, it's going to become a real concern. So Roy's going to turn on one of the popular games and then see if we can see if that will impact his gaming experience. Is it locking? What's the problem? Okay. Yesterday was working perfectly, so. I guess that's the issue with live demos.
Amid the global pandemic and quarantine measures, gamers reported spending 45% more time playing video games, according to recent surveys. The gaming industry is expected to grow very fast, from $160 billion in consumer spending in 2020 to $256 billion by 2025. That's according to market research firm Mordor Intelligence.
For me, I have a very boring breakfast schedule. I just do the same thing every day, and it just keeps it fast. Because for me, it's about efficiency. So a lot of people think this is kind of gross because there's no milk, but at the end of the day, it's good for you and it's fast and it's consistent and it's it doesn't look great.
Alvin is fine-tuning his products before the big presentation.
The industry last few years have really come a long ways. We launched the product and made big waves. Now it's kind of the next generation of things are coming up, particularly with the standalones. That's where a lot of people think it's going to make a difference in terms of getting adoption back into the mass market, into the general family. And it's just a lot easier when you don't have to buy this big PC to go along with it and bring it to a standalone product. That's going to be really hard and challenging, and our team's working so hard, all working to make sure that this works.
A big part of making it work is understanding what customers want. Alvin checks in on some recent feedback from surveys.
Okay. So we just got back some study results where about 4,000 survey recipients gave us some feedback about kind of what they're looking for from VR and how they're using it. For a lot of people right now, it's playing games, it's watching videos, it's exercise. Actually, this is the funny thing is we found out in this particular new study that before there was maybe only 5% of people that used VR to exercise, but since that Beat Saber game came out, almost instantly it's come up to about 35% of people are using VR to exercise. So that that really shows the power of content, and one piece of content changing customer behavior. At the end of the day, this technology is going to touch so many people and so many sectors, and it's going to make everybody's lives more productive, and both in their working life as well as their personal life.
Going into VR, you've created a space which is unlike the two-dimensional representations that you get on a screen or a phone. In virtual reality, you can create completely new worlds. You know, an example is using VR to explore the human body. That would be a much richer biology class than studying a few pictures in an anatomy textbook. I think the Chinese at least have this light bulb moment of, hey, we need to invest in this. There needs to be more of a focus on it, and it'd be nice if the Western world would wake up and pay attention to some of this.
China leads the world in VR adoption. In 2020, China made up nearly 55% of global commercial and consumer spending on VR and augmented reality technology. That's according to market research company International Data Corporation. With the conference just days away, the Vive staff is feeling the pressure. But members of this team have overcome more than technical bugs in the past. Their VR expertise attracts the best of the best.
So Ready Player One is the blockbuster Steven Spielberg movie that just came out recently, and it's all about VR, and it's actually filmed in VR using our devices. So Spielberg took our headsets, went into a virtual set, and was directing his actors to move in different ways using our headsets, and then creating a virtual camera with his controllers to pick the video. I think that the movie itself is still a very traditional 3D computer-generated graphics related movie, but it's how it was filmed that was very, very different. To be able to go into a virtual set, take any angle, and be able to have it all essentially generated. Actually, I went into the set where they filmed it, the studio where it's filmed. It's a big white room, and it's amazing what can be put into it. And our systems was what enabled it to happen to have that whole room scale setup, so any of the actors could be fully tracked. We also helped with all the content that's been created, so all the VR content of allowing the end user to then become the character in the movie. So those have been created over the last year and is already released on our App Store. So anybody can now become the heroine or hero in this movie, and you know, for the first time be in the movie versus just watching it.
I was completely kind of wowed by it. And it was a crazy, conceptually, you know, nutty idea, but an idea that was not too far away from a future reality. And having made Minority Report and having spent so much time trying to imagine what the future could be for all of us in that circumstance, I suddenly saw a future that Ernest Cline, the writer of the book, and Zach Penn, the screenwriter, envisioned, and it wasn't that far away from what I think is going to happen someday, and that's what got me very interested in pursuing it.
As Alvin gets ready to depart Beijing for the conference, he is focused and optimistic. He's also tense.
Looks like hotel travel all set up, so we're going to see you there.
The stakes are high for Alvin. If he has a successful demonstration, it could be a game changer for the industry. But a technical glitch will be a devastating blow to both the company and to Alvin.
I mean, today is a big day, but all the hard work really happened over the last 2 months. All right, so let's check that one slide. Our production guys has been there, getting all the demos, getting all the software guys, you know, verifying our technology that we're announcing today all really works. So this is coming down to the wire, but it's exciting.
The conference crowd is made up of industry leaders and investors who want to use VR for education, medicine, city planning, and much more.
Okay, let's go. Well, it's been a very long day for the team. We started out early in the morning, and we had a big session in the morning, and then also a session this afternoon for the developers. It looks like everything's gone well. The press conference also was very positive, and you know, we are already seeing a ton of news over the last 2 days in terms of positive feedback, both in China and actually a lot of global press. A lot of the questions today from the press was really about, how do we keep this up? How do we make this continue to be more real? How do we make the city or the country really accept VR as the next technology and make it as popular as a phone? And that's something that we're going to work, the next few years, next 10 years to make that happen.
The internet defined the 20th century, with the United States as the clear global leader. VR now has the potential to define the 21st century.